Your insurance exam queen here, and I think I'm live on two places. I got a hair in my eye, sorry. I'm trying to go live on TikTok as well as YouTube, so that I can be there for everybody everywhere all the time. And this is my second time going live on TikTok. Okay, so let's see here. So I am here to help make sure that you can pass your insurance exam with ease and confidence. And let's see, we got 3 amigos in New Jersey just here to say thank you for making me love this industry. Haha, yes. New Jersey life test on Sunday. I'm planning on continuing my education with you. Perfect, fantastic. I'm excited about that. Let us know when you pass so we can cheer you on. I'm so happy. Heather Wall, hey, Heather. I think you're in Oklahoma. Sheree Myers, hello, I'm in Missouri. I have taken this test several times and have not passed. I keep getting 68, 67, 69. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm starting to get discouraged. Okay, one, that's an easily identifiable problem, like why you keep getting just below passing. So we can talk about that. And then 2, getting discouraged. It is so normal. It is so normal to be in this situation where you're struggling. You can't pass. You like keep hitting, like you're almost there, but not quite getting it. And it can really dig down on us. As, we try so hard. We've been studying, we're listening to everything. We're watching all the videos, we're reading all the notes, we're taking all the notes. And no matter what people keep saying for us to do, we do it. And we're still seeing the failing score. And that happens, the longer that happens, the harder it is to manage that. And so I get that. I want to eliminate that for you. I want to get rid of the anxiety and the frustration and the overwhelm of having these multiple attempts at passing and not passing. I get it. But one, I am working on helping to change that. Everything that I put out for the exam is to help you be able to secure a pass and not struggle so much. I'm here to cut down on the amount of time it takes you to study for the material, the amount of time it takes you to read the material. Like all this time that you've been spending and you keep getting a 68, a 69, and you're not quite passing, or like you think you're going to go get an 80% and then you end up like walking out with a 40% and you're really discouraged. And then you see that happen multiple times. I get it. And that's why I'm here. I want to help you. I got people on TikTok, got people on YouTube. So I'm going to try and check both. So you're not alone. You're not alone when you're scoring right there, or you're vastly scoring in the opposite direction. You are not alone. Everyone who is taking this test is having a struggle in some form, in some fashion. So you're not alone. And a lot of people have seen that in the Facebook group. I mean, we just want to know, because the reason you need to know that you're not alone is because there's nothing wrong about you. We tend to have this idea that there's something wrong, that I'm not doing something right. I'm doing something wrong. I focus on the wrong stuff. And then I wonder how I fix the wrong stuff instead of focusing on the right stuff and like better supporting the right stuff. So we worry about, what should we invest in? What should we spend our time in? What should we be reading? Like, how do I go about studying? Like, I don't even know how to study and read information. I don't even know, what the heck I'm doing. This has been a long time since I've been learning information. Do I write all the notes? Like, this is stuff that people don't necessarily tell you, how to go through all this material. And so many of us are familiar with the school system where, we're doing everything like digital. I was thinking today about, online courses and the requirements of an online course. And like, I was enrolled in this online course that had this Notion template, which was supposed to be some like physical, or it was supposed to be like a digital way of like taking notes. And I wasn't thinking about using like my physical notes. Like, I really love to write physical notes. I really love to write things down. And it's one of the ways that helps lock the information into my brain. And we all now are like expected to learn digitally when we're still used to and familiar with the ways of learning of old fashioned handwriting, of like taking our time. Like, part of the handwriting is the taking of the time to explain the material, giving you time to like actually hear the information sink in. We have these like quick 6-second videos, which are so helpful in some realms. Absolutely. Yes. But there are also times where you need like a longer time talking about a topic that's not just a clean cut sentence that you can put in a 60-second reel. Some of you need the longer time to hear this information and to let it sink in your brain. We call it wait time in school. There's amount of time that it takes for your brain to distinguish what it is you heard, what it is you're seeing, and like put it together in information that what do I need to know just to understand this concept that I'm about to remember, and what do I have to remember, and what can I kind of let go and know a little bit about, right? Like if I can have a brief understanding of this, but it helps me really understand this, like that's the fastest route. And I want to get you on the fastest route of learning, on the fastest route of it won't take me, like my goal was getting people passing in a week. And so everything that I do to say in the way that I say to do it, and most of my teaching just comes just from watching the video. Just watch the videos. Like that's all you got to do. Like don't worry about like anything else. Just turn on the video, start watching. And as you're watching, I teach you the information. You've got a notebook. I'm saying take notes on the things you need to know. Here's what you should remember. Here's what you can avoid. Here's a question you may expect to see. Here's how you would solve this math problem. And I walk you through it in a pace that is nice and slow for you to be able to write down and to remember and to lock into your brain. So many of you say like, I struggle with what do I even need to know? What do I need to know so I can pass? I have this whole entire book, but it's like I don't even know what I need to know of all of this stuff. And how do I make sure that the stuff I do need to know is in my brain? And how do I know that I'm ready to sit down and read a question about it and then take what I know in my brain to make sure that I answer that question correctly? And how do I know to be careful when there are two answer choices that are exactly the same except one letter off? And if you don't pay attention to that one letter, you could be at a difference between a 69 and a 70. Like that was one of the questions is like, I'm struggling so bad with getting 68, 69, 67, and you need that 70 to pass. One, you're getting frustrated and worn down that it's taking you this many times and that you're so close to getting it right. Like you're so freaking close to getting a 70, just one question off. A lot of that times it's little things like this that I teach in my videos and that you learn best by just watching the videos. So this is why the videos is so powerful. And we've made the videos that you need to, and me teaching in the order that I need to be teaching. And I know we love like live learning. I love live learning too. And now that the baby's a little bit older, we're going to jump back into some live learning, which I'm super excited about. But even watching videos of me teaching that are in the gold class series package, and you just follow along with me like you're live, you're just following along like you're there, like you're sitting in a classroom. Honestly, the way that I make these is so that we feel like we're sitting in a classroom. This is what feels normal to a lot of us. This is what feels safe to a lot of us. Like I was thinking, there's different types of students in school. And the type of student that I was is the type of student that could just hear something, like write it down, share that information. And that's like how I share this information. And there's so many of you that just get it. I share a story about it in your head. Like I use, moms and dads, I use examples. I use stories of things that I've actually heard about. I use memorization tricks where I just repeat something over and over again. Like agreement is known as offering an acceptance. Agreement is known as offer and acceptance. Agreement is known as offer and acceptance. And I just drill down in with the things you need to memorize in a way that you can understand it, with also understanding that you guys are under all this immense pressure. Like not only do I actually teach the material, whereas a lot of other instructors just read from a book, like that is so normal in the insurance industry, in this pre-licensing space, is that the majority of teachers, instructors are simply reading from a textbook and not explaining it. They might use a couple of examples of like real life situations that they've done in the real world. But honestly, there's a difference between test world and real world. And if the story they're telling you about the real world is just a fun story, but not related to the exam, like that's not helpful. And like Peter and I, to the life and health, well, he can teach all the concepts, but he teaches up to 3 times a week. He's amazing and incredible. But him and I both have the belief that we teach to the test, that we tell you what's on the test itself. And like what you actually, we want to deter you from these extra stuff that doesn't matter. This is why I funnel vision commercial. Like a lot of you will say, I need to know a lot of commercial. And I'm like, no, you don't. If you just funnel vision on just the few things that I talk about, because it's not necessary that you understand everything to be able to pick the right answer. You just need to understand certain things, and you need to know what to look for into what could be the answer to the question. Because trying to like know and understand every single concept to its full entirety, it can take a lot of time and is not worth the time that it takes. Let me synthesize and shrink down and give you the best little nugget of information that you can store in your brain without taking up too much space, so that when you sit down to take the test, you can take it easily and quickly without the stress, without the overwhelm, without feeling like there's way too much information to take in. I I cut it down, I narrow it, I make it simple, I make it easy to swallow, honestly. Super simple, super fun. As you're watching the videos of me teaching, I embed a lot of things that are just going on so that it doesn't feel like you're in this rushed, crushed like zone of like, I must study and get this done, or else like I want your studying to be enjoyable. I want you to have a good time as you're sitting and studying. If we can't be laughing along as we're doing this, it means that we're just stressed out. And if we're stressed out, we're not learning the information anyway. So we have to take this in a, it's okay. Like, let's just live life. And so we laugh and we have a good time as we're going through the videos. Like a lot of these videos you'll actually see in like timeline order of my life between being married, not being married, meeting David, getting pregnant. Like you get to follow along of this story as these videos go on. But besides that, just the learning of the information and being attached to real world. Like we get lost in our minds so much when we're studying for this exam, and we get lost in our minds about, how am I ever going to learn all of this? And how am I ever going to be an insurance agent? And how am I ever going to do a job that's commission only? And how am I ever going to, and there's all these worries and all these concerns you may have, and that can be blocking your ability to take the test. And so when you're watching the videos of reducing your amount of overwhelm and getting you into a spirit of just joy and happiness as you're studying, because this should feel joyous. We should feel like we're celebrating the launch of a new career and not like walking on this death-defying edge of, if I don't get this job, everything is ruined. Like a lot of us stay on the stress of that side of things. And I want to get you to the side of things like where we're celebrating what you're doing. You're getting to change your family's future. You're getting to change your career, whatever it is. Like when I look around at like what I've done in terms of my family, being able to own a piece of property instead of just renting a piece of property, the quality of the place that I'm living in, these are some changes that I've been able to make by going into this industry, by working and serving this industry. And even though we might be doing different things, there's so much money available within the insurance industry. Like it's crazy. And like I'm tapping into a funnel of education that is like a whole realm of insurance. There's so much education inside of insurance. So maybe you love to teach, but you hook on to insurance so that you learn to teach about insurance. Like there's a realm of all kinds of stuff. Maybe you find yourself like, I've sold some insurance and I don't exactly love it, but I learned how to make insurance graphics that really can help to convert a bunch of people over to purchasing. So maybe I can sell those Canva graphics to other insurance agents. Like once you get into a community, you begin to learn how to serve that community. So the insurance community is just filled with money. There's all kinds of communities out there, but the insurance community is filled with lots of money. And then you can have referrals. Like it's kind of crazy to me, like this whole process of like buying a house right now. We've been referred to all the people that we've ended up using. Like the people we tried to seek out ourselves were not that great, didn't turn out well. But like the power of being able to speak to another person who has like done their research and like knows who's good and knows who you should refer to. Like we ended up calling the real estate agent for our property, who was also like, he would make all the money, like because we called him and the buyer called him, he gets to make all the money from that sale, which I think is fantastic, because otherwise he would have to split it between another real estate agent. But we called him, then we needed help with our mortgage, and he referred us to the most incredible person who helped us, and then we needed to refer to someone else, and she referred us to someone else. Like the power of using people, like from people that you're experiencing and not having to like go over everything yourself, like that's incredibly powerful. So anyway, I want to read the comments. So let me jump back into this. Just feel like physical notes is better. Yes, there's actually a study released that says physical notes is better than digital notes. So it's actually much better to write with your hand, which is why I encourage to do that, which is why I do that, which is why I teach like that. I talk like I love physical notes. I was doing it today. In fact, Angela and I are working on building a new ultimate study buddy package. So Angela is amazing. And Angela, and hi, I forget TikTok is down here. Sorry, guys. This is kind of how I treat TikTok in real life, is I don't know how to like answer all the questions on it. And yeah, I'm not tech savvy, guys. You got to update this old millennial over here. Okay. I'm geriatric millennial. Look at my lighting. I look like a little devil over here on TikTok right now. I look semi-decent up here on YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to be here to serve you. I want to be here to help you. I'm not the most techie person here. The easiest way, though, to chat with me for sure is on the UBTubies. So if you can come to the YouTubes, or if you can book a class with me, that would be another way where you can better talk to me, where I'm paying attention to you. Because there's so much, there's so many of you. We've got 47 on the YouTube. I think, how do you tell how many are on TikTok? I think it's that little number up top, and it's like a little person with a 21 next to like what looks like a power symbol on TikTok. Is that how many people are watching? 21. Okay, yeah. So that confirms it. Okay. So I want to take care of all of you. So let's read through the comments. So Heather's here. She's been in Oklahoma. 68, 69. So much of it is not knowing how to just read the question and choose a good answer. It's not like you didn't study and you don't know the content. It's like, I don't even know how to tackle this question right now. They put in two right answers, and it's like, which one are they talking about? It could be one letter off. So these are some of the things that we teach you inside of Gold. So when you're watching Gold, you're not just watching a video on auto insurance. As I'm teaching, I talk about like how that's going to might pop up as a question, how to tackle that question, how to make sure you're choosing the right answer. That's inside of the lessons. And that's why it's so powerful. But we also have an additional video of Peter, who does navigating difficult test questions. So he has a whole lesson on like talking about questions, not like teaching you auto. In fact, if whether you're doing life or auto or homeowners, you can go to that class. And then he teaches you how to like navigate through those questions and make sure you feel a lot more comfortable choosing the right one. And so that could be a big difference between the 68, 68, 67, 68, 69 difference. Like you're trying to get over the edge. Anyone can benefit from that class if they know that they're struggling with reading the questions itself. Like if you're like, I don't even know what this question is saying right now. Like this question might as well be in another language. We can help you with understanding that as well. And then taking a test with a teacher is another powerful way of shifting your score from a 67, 68 to a 69. So this would be where we have the Kahoot nights available, where you actually can play on a live Zoom, where you play the Zoom, you're with an instructor in the room, you guys are playing live, you get to answer your question, you get to select the answer on your screen, you get to be actively involved in the class. We have those, but we also have recordings of those, and watching the recordings allows it for you to have actually feel like you've been there. You can even play along on the games. So like you can play I don't know, like if you can act, I don't know if you can directly play an old game, but you can play a new game yourself on Kahoot. But if you were to just write down on your notes, like handwriting is most important. So like you're watching one of the Kahoot games, like play along, answer what you would have answered, because you get to see the answers on the screen. You get to take your time to choose what it was, just like as if you had been at that game live. So whether you are able to attend any of the live Kahoot games or take a test with me, which we offer every so often, then you can, you can see where you're at, you can do it live, but you can also watch a recording and still learn from that. So that's another powerful way to shift it from a 67, 68 to a 69. And another big thing is just feeling good about it. Like however long it takes you, like appreciation appreciates. So like, even though it can feel like a total pain in our butt, the number of times we have to study and take this test, we have to trust and understand that like the moment I'm doing this is somehow like good. Like even like we use the example all the time. Like if you want to, change your body, you got to start lifting weights. And like the first time you're lifting those weights, it's going to hurt. It's going to suck. But over time you get better and better. Like it just, you can, tap into that, and going to take the exam multiple attempts could just be a representation of something. There's some reason, there's some story behind why it's taking you multiple times. Like I'm glad David failed. Like David, my husband, we met because of the insurance exam queen. I'm happy he failed his exams because it caused him to want to reach out to me. And if he hadn't reached out to me, I wouldn't be where I am now, currently living in the country, having a beautiful miracle baby, having all these amazing things happening in my life, these different experiences in my life, having a man whom I love and adore, who loves and adores me. And like, we're having a great time and life feels so wonderful and amazing. If he hadn't have failed, we wouldn't have had that all happen, or we would have had to met some other way. But the point is like, the sadness of him failing led to something so awesome and amazing. And I'm sure he would attest to, he is so happy he failed. He is so happy he failed his exam, and that he found me, and that he reached out to me, and that we're living the life that we're living. So you have to trust that 4 times, 5 times, 10 times, whatever. Like I often say, like on the other side of that is you cashing a 6-figure commission check, because that's definitely a possibility within the insurance industry where you're cashing 6-figure checks, where you're making lots of commission. Like it's possible for you to make money, but even to just have freedom and flexibility in your life. Insurance, again, is this $1 trillion pie, and you can tap into it in some form, in some fashion, and bring your special magic and jazz to it, whatever, works for you. Not every insurance agent sells the same way, and not every person involved in insurance directly sells insurance, such as myself. But I'm helping other people make money from selling insurance by referring you guys to them, by working with them. Like there's unlimited. This is what we mean when we say there's like unlimited income. Like this is the magic money with Melissa. Like there's always another person that you can refer to. So like I was talking about how our real estate agent referred us the most amazing people, and she referred us the most amazing people. And this journey has been nothing but awesome. There's been a lot of stuff along the way that we've been dealing with as well, in terms of like, buying a new house, getting everything secured and set up, and switching, like selling our house. Like there's a lot going on. Like in order to make all these changes and these jumps, we got to put forth our time and our effort and deal with and manage, with whatever's going on. There's a lot, but the people we were referred to helped us handle it so well. And all of these people are making money from like working and helping each other. Like it's amazing. So like every person that we know, our real estate agent's going to make 6%. He's going to make 6 figures on this sale alone. He's referred us to the mortgage, which you want to work with a mortgage because they handle all the things. She's going to be making money from that sale. Like there's so much money potential in like any market when we begin referring incredible people to incredible people. And like one of the incredible people in the insurance industry is Malia. And we're going to be working together on her YouTube. I'm not always the best at names, and I want to say her last name is Rogers, but I might be wrong. But Malia Rogers is going to, let me make sure. I have had like 1,000 people reach out to me today, but she is writing a book, and this book is amazing. Yes, Rogers. Okay. Malia Rogers is releasing a book, and she had me take a look at chapter 1 as a woman entrepreneur, having a 7-figure business onto an 8-figure business. Like I want a woman like that to read my book. And I started reading her book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And she teaches people how to create referral systems where you don't have to pay for leads, and you don't have to struggle to get people to come in and to make money. Like when you set up your system, and then also like how do you know people are going to refer to you? You got to be attractive and magnetic and be charismatic with other people. And like, how do you do that? What are certain things? What are ways that you operate within your energy? And like, she has written this incredible book for it. So I'm super excited to be able to share that with you guys. It's not yet published or released, but it is in the works. And so I'm super excited to see that. But she talks all about the referral system. Like that is one magical, incredible way of setting up your business when you're worried about, how do I make commission only sales? Referrals. Like you guys refer me left and right, and you guys like happily do it. Like you're like, oh my God, yes, everyone should know that you need to study with the insurance exam queen. And that's not to be boastful. That's to be like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I know what I'm doing. I help many, many people. I can help you. Just come and work with me. Like we've got the videos, we've got the live classes, we got all kinds of stuff. So let me go ahead and take a look at some of the other questions. Thank you for making me love this industry. Yes. Hello, I'm in Missouri, 69. Yes. I need 70 to pass. Yes. Has a live started? I'm not hearing or seeing anything. Yeah, I was a little bit late. Thank you. Just the Ego Stock. Hey, I'm taking your course right now. California. I failed it once, paid for silver. Perfect. Silver is really good when you're close to passing. So I don't know what score you got, but if you need just a little bit more, like you just need a little kick and understand, like I kind of get most of it. It feels pretty good. I'm getting like 70 to 80s on my practice exams. But I just need a little bit more. Like that's what the silver package is for. It kind of helps solidify some of those topics for you. If you're like, this stuff might as well be another language, that's who gold is for. And you want to get gold. It's $97 on insuranceexamqueen.com. And that's what teaches you what you need to know, how you need to know it, with all the little memory tricks that I put in there. Okay. The sprinkle. Game splash, heart, heart, heart. Thank you, Heather. I got 6 points away first time and now I retest Thursday. I'm doing worse, but I have life and health. And I think that's why I'm messing up. So are you saying your score that you got first time was like property and casualty and now you're doing life and health? But one of the big things, like just doing what you can, like writing out your notes, being physical, listening to it over again on repeat. Those are all pretty powerful. Mike Scott, hey family, is there a way to just pay for the adjusters part of the package, or is gold the only option? So the reason that we bundle both the gold and the adjusters together is that you still need the property and casualty content for the adjusting exam. If you already have purchased gold PC and you want to add just the adjusters, you can, there's a coupon inside to do that. But right now we haven't sold separately the adjusters package, but I can write that on the list of things. Adjusters package. Right now you would get gold, but that's because what's offered in gold adjusting also includes what's on the adjusting exam. Great question. I don't even know what I'm struggling in now. What might be good for you? So Angela is known as the ultimate study buddy, where I like to teach the information and like explain it to you. She likes to conversate and talk with you about it. So there's two different, aspects when it comes to, who like taking a lot of the classes with Angela are very, very interactive. And it's not to say that I don't do interaction. You guys can watch the Gold Class series. I do interaction, but she likes to call out on people. She likes to ask people what their answers are, talk with people. And where a lot of my classes tend to be just me kind of teaching, because you guys don't ask me questions. I would totally do that if you guys ask me questions, but y'all don't. So, when you get the Gold Class series package, it's more of like a teaching type thing. And then you can add in working with Angela, the ultimate study buddy. She has live classes, right? So it's very powerful to go to them live. So you can be the one answering the questions. You get to be the one talking. Those happen about 3 times a week, but she is also creating her own ultimate study buddy package that you can add on. We're going to hammer out all the details for that. But she is also serving the insurance industry as a tutor. Like, be learning about the insurance industry doesn't always mean, like, what I'm saying is some of you guys are afraid. Like, I'm studying this test. Like, I learned about this opportunity. It's the most money I've ever heard about before, but I'm not sure if it's for me. And I don't know, if I'm actually going to be able to sell. And like, what if I can't maintain this job? All these thoughts and worries. Any amount of learning is not wasted. You might, in what you're coming in for, it might be here to meet someone else. Like the whole fact of you studying for the exam, maybe because you're here to meet someone else. You're here to be in the Facebook group. Like somebody said the other day, I'm single, ready to mingle. Like, yeah, I met my husband here on the YouTube channel studying for his exam, and he never tested again. Like he's never taken that. He has no interest in insurance. But one, I'm so glad he studied to try and take this test. And two, I am so glad that he failed. He's not selling insurance. He never took it again. And like, he could have been all torn up about failure, where his failure is like his super happiness in this moment. So like, just trust that life is like, it's all working. It's all magic. It's all good. Like, free yourself of the pressure of like, will I be successful in this business? How am I actually going to do it? What am I doing? Just ride it out. It's an amazing industry, and it will get you to the places that you want to go, whether it's in insurance or somewhere else with the person you want, whatever. And I'm here to support you in the making of the money side. So like, this channel is all about, well, sometimes I definitely go preachy here, but this channel here is dedicated all to teaching about the insurance exam. If you want to hear more about me talking about being able to make money and making as much money as you want, and not necessarily related to selling insurance, like it could be about anything, but even just beyond money, like just me talking about life and all the things that I've learned and how I've made my life a better life, how I went from a person who was doing this teaching for a corporate company, but I had to have my hair a certain way, and I had to dress a certain way, and I had to talk a certain way, and I had to act a certain way. And I was only allowed to talk to the people they wanted me to talk to. And I was like, I can do so much better if I do this my own way. So I'm going to look like me. I'm going to talk like me. I'm going to walk like me. I'm going to act like me. And I'm just going to put myself on YouTube, and I will build a business. Like, that magic happened. That's what we're all here for now. And when I say that I had to learn a lot of things to just make that all happen, and to flow with that, and to be magical and amazing, doing things my own way when I was always trusting someone else to do things for me, or always relying upon some system or a paycheck or whatever, like not just free balling it out here. Like, there's times where you got to feel like you're free balling. And like, how do you hold that? How do you sustain that? How do you ride the magic of that and not be overwhelmed by that? Like, I talk about that all on the Melissa May Dillon channel, which is my other YouTube. So while I'm live in this YouTube, I advertise my other YouTube. All right. Kiko, peace. I'm new. I'm happy I caught a live. I failed Pennsylvania PSI life insurance 2 times before finding your channel. I'm nervous to retake. Okay, trust yourself. Trust yourself. Listen to the about to test audio or the about to test. There's 2. So if you are worried and nervous heading into studying, you should listen to the about to study audio. Sorry, there's 2 audios. About to study audio is one that you should listen to right before you study. Because if you're starting to study and you're nervous and stressed and like, oh my God, how am I going to pass? And like, okay, now I need to learn the definition of insurance, but I'm worried about passing. Like, it's going to be really hard for you to retain that information. So I have an audio that you listen to that helps you to clear out the fear and the worry, and you can jump right into studying and actually learning and retaining the information through my Gold Class Series package. I will put it into your brain so that you can easily recall it on the exam. And then if you can get the gold, get that. But if not, at a minimum, just trust yourself. We have free resources under the notes tab. We have Kahoot games that you can play by yourself. We also have videos of Kahoot games of instructors playing the games. And that way you get to like have real live action with answering questions, and also just hear from an instructor who can explain why that question, why they word it that way, or how to get around it, or how to make sure you're choosing the right answer, and how to pay attention to one letter off of the sentence. And it's so powerful to have someone explain that to you. And that's what we have. Peter is even working to make a package with him. Again, him and I are so close. We so want you to just worry about what is actually on the exam. What is actually on the exam? What do I actually need to know? Like, I'm reading like 50 words. Do I need to know all 50 words and all of their definitions and how they show up in a sentence and what else they might be talked to and how else are they going to be used to distract me, and what I should look at, what I shouldn't look at? We take care of all of that stuff for you by in our videos. You just learn what we tell you to learn in the way we tell you to learn it. Just follow our route, do what we're saying, and we will get you to the pass. The people who see the passes the quickest are the people who watch all of it in order, in its entirety, taking notes, writing things down. And then the other group of people are just listening to it on repeat, no matter where they're going, what they're doing. Because I know it's like, you say like, well, I got a life to live. I got things to do. I got to study. I got to do all this stuff. Like, how do I listen on repeat while I'm also taking care of life? Like, I got a little earbud in my ear. Like, the quicker you can let this information sink in and the quicker you can be done studying, the quicker you're done. You can, if it's a struggle for you, you might drag this out for like a week, two weeks, a month, 2 months. I've known people who've been studying for a year, or they'll study and then break and then study and then break because it's so hard. It causes you to just want to walk away sometimes, because like you see people get it done in a week and a weekend and you didn't do it. So you're like, well, if I just give up at this point because it took me 3 times. I thought I would do it in 1. Other people did it in 1, but here I am at time number 3 and there must be something wrong with me. And I'd rather just walk away than try one more time at this. You got to just get up and try one more time at this. Like, just got to do it. I know there are some states with limitations, but you got to trust that that's for a reason. You just got to show up each day as your best, doing your best. So I highly recommend the Gold Class Series package if you're able to. Since you've taken it 2 times before, if you don't want to take it a 3rd time, get on that Gold Class Series package. And you guys are talking to me down here too, but I haven't even read all the comments up here. I'm on YouTube. So if you're down there in the TikToks with the really bad lighting, or I look like a little evil elf or a little evil devil, on my YouTube, there's a much better video of me. And I'm not a super techie person to stream all of it live at the same time. So if you can join me on YouTube, and hopefully TikTok doesn't tick me off for saying that. Tick me off? Kick me off for saying that. Okay. Got to keep it funny and humorous. If you were so stressed and worried about while studying and there wasn't some fun and humor sprinkled into the magic, okay. Def agree. I take notes while you're talking. I can not only break it down for me to understand in a way, but my muscle memory helps. Yes, writing it down while I'm speaking is the best way to put it into your brain. My boss refused to extend my test a couple of weeks, even though I told her I wasn't ready. Isn't the goal for me to pass? Yes. So unfortunately, Carolina, bosses are like really under pressure. Like they know that like the quicker you can, this is why I try as fast as I can to like cut down on the amount of time. Because what happens is if you don't get it done quickly, one, they want to know, like they're on their side of it. One of them, they're thinking about the money. If she doesn't pass quickly, I'm going to have to pay more money and wait more time before she can start making me money. And so some of the bosses, whether it's a W-2 job or a recruiter and they're paying for you, you are required to perform, at a certain time, at a certain rate under their pressure. And they also um don't want to waste their investment or cut it off before they spend more than they should. An expensive process trying to get people to pass the exam. It doesn't have to be. And I definitely help to reduce the costs for you. And if more people tapped into my stuff, we can even make it less expensive for you guys to access the material that you need to access so that you can all pass the exam. I want everyone to pass the exam. So everyone to be able to learn the information they need to learn the information and to pass the exam the way that is so simple, so easy for the majority of people. We can get you taken care of. Like I'm saving people money in this process, and I want to save everyone all as much money as they can. But recruiters will cut you off if they feel like you're not going to pass. The sooner you can go from I need to test to passing, the better, because the less time you will stress, worry, overwhelm, and doubt. So like there's parts of us that say, well, give me time for me to adequately put this information into my brain. Like it's going to take me a little bit to read this and absorb it and understand it. But they know that the quicker you can get it in, the easier it is, because honestly, there's so much learning on the other side of the exam. What I teach you is a fraction of what you need to know in order to really understand the policies and to be able to sell. So the real learning begins when you're done with taking the test. Like I was at USAA and I remember like the first like 3 or 4, 5, 6 months of my time there was like training, learning. Like one, we had to study for the exam and take and pass it. So I've done this exam myself in order to get a job, the highest paying job I've ever had. Like I've been there, I've been in your seat needing to take this test. I remember driving in to take the test. I remember the day I passed the test. I remember studying for the test with all of my friends. And so I've been in that situation for a job. But after that, there was like weeks and weeks of training where they actually took the time to teach me what I was actually going to be doing, what I was actually going to be selling. Like the quicker we can get you through the exam process, one, you're not going to be stressed or overwhelmed, which doubles your amount of time. And you're going to be able to not learn too much of what you don't actually need to know. It's just a rule. It's just a law that says you got to take this test. Everyone taking a paper pencil, well, everyone taking a multiple question test is like one way of making sure that most people understand what they're doing as an insurance agent. Is kind of like, for some people that works, but for some people it's like asking a fish to climb a tree. But they've decided that for, their security, well, we want to make sure we don't release bad insurance agents out upon you, because there are, bad insurance agents. And basically when the government licensed someone, they're saying, we trust this person to take care of your insurance needs in a good way. And if that person doesn't, because there are people who are schemy and not awesome, the government has to say, well, we gave them a license. So in order for the government to be happy with knowing that you're getting a license and they're going to have to defend you, because that's just the relationship between insurance agent and insurer. This is the same thing. When you work for an insurance company, they're responsible for what you do and say. So like you have to make sure that what you do and say represents the company that you're working for, because you represent the company that you're working for, which is a testable point. As an insurance agent, you represent them. So everything you're doing or saying while you're working for them, like, represents the insurance company, and they want to make sure that they're backing a good person. The government wants to make sure that you understand insurance, that you understand, a little bit about what you're doing. And they've decided that a test is a way to prove that. And that's not necessarily the best way of proving that. Like maybe a conversation would be better if I can talk to you about, telling me about the insurance policy. I think that might be a better way of testing people to see if they're ready to be insurance agents. But right now it's multiple choice question. And so we got to do our best. We got to do our best with the way that the test is. And so I do my best at teaching you how to go through that awful test with multiple choice questions and tricky words and, silly questions that are not true and real to life. But I'll make sure you understand it by giving you true to real life stuff, because that's what matters to us the most. And once you're done with the test, then you get into the real world of insurance where you actually begin to learn the stuff you need to learn. And the quicker you can get through the test, the quicker you can get through passing that exam, the more you can jump into what is actually the real world, what you'll actually be experiencing, what you'll actually be doing. So that is one why recruiters or jobs will push you sooner. One, because you can make, this is another reason, one, they make more money the faster you can begin to sell, which also tells you one thing. People are so scared to like do this job on their own. They're scared to like go out there and sell insurance when they've never done it before and rely upon that as being their source of income. Like I know that I could plug some numbers into a computer and work for a company and they will pay me money, but I don't know if I do this thing that is completely brand new to me on my own, talking about something I've never talked about before or having a brief understanding of it. If I can sell this to a person sitting in front of me, that thought alone is really scary. But you can learn the way to talk. You can learn the things you need to say. And you might find that, it's not for you, that you want to help other insurance agents do something else. Like you might be like, I'm really good at making insurance agent business cards and marketing to insurance agents. So maybe you came into the insurance space to meet that person, but you're not actually going to sell insurance. You're just going to support the person selling insurance, and you two are going to become best friends, and it's going to be amazing. And you're so glad that you came in here to study and take the test, but that you found the person who, you get to now work for, and it feels amazing and it's awesome. And like, aren't you so glad that you failed? Like, trust the journey, whatever the journey is. And if you want to pass, get my gold class series. So I'm going to support you every single way, whether you end up passing, not passing, whether you need just the confidence and conviction to go after what your true life's purpose is. That's what I'm here for. So no, not all of you will pass the exam. And I'm happy to say that that's a good thing, that it's a good thing. But I'm glad you're here, and there's a reason that you're here. Awesome. All right. Now, and there's a reason it might take you 16 times before you pass, and just keep going until it feels like it's not the right thing to do. But don't let it be because you doubt yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to know where I can find test info for New Jersey. I have a membership. So when you say test info Virgo, I don't know exactly what you mean. If you mean like what is on the exam, like not every exam kind of has like different chapters that are more important than other chapters. So if you want test info in that way, like what chapters do I actually need to read? What chapters do I actually know? What are the chapters? What are the concepts that show up on the test? Like, is there a place where I can read a list of the things that show up on the test so I know what I need to actually know, what I need to be prepared for? We all get an online course that has like a bunch of text we have to read and some videos, but no one is saying, know this for sure. Know this for sure. Make sure you know this. When you look at that big old piece of text, who's telling you what to look at and what's most important? I am. We don't have a text here at the Insurance Exam Queen because it's not necessary. I can just simply teach you the things on video, drawing them out in a manner that people are able to keep track on and keep pace on. And it is so fun when we have class. And I'm so excited because we're to a point where I'm going to start offering classes again. I wanted to wait till, I didn't feel like I had to run off with the baby. We were a little bit late today because I was breastfeeding the baby and I was taking a nice bath, but we're going to start teaching again. Tell us what it is you want. And Angela, the Ultimate Study Buddy, she offers classes where you're more like speaking and engaging with her and chit-chatting with her and asking her questions. And she calls on you to answer questions. So she's more of a study buddy type person, and she can help explain the information, but she wants you to have watched Gold. So everyone watches Gold, me teaching and explaining the information. And then she comes with you, follows up with you, makes sure that you understood the information, and identify any gaps that you may personally have that you didn't ask about when you were on with me. So we really complement each other with that. And that's why it's awesome to have the Gold Class Series package with my video teachings and then live classes with Angela with the Ultimate Study Buddy stuff. And that's what we have available for you right now. And there may be a change. Like at any day, at any point, we can change what's going on in the business. And because of the numbers of people that are registering for the classes, we might have to get to a point of charging them again, because in order to host this many classes for this many people, we got to pay for the tech behind that. We got to do the things. So there are maybe ways that we're upgrading some things within the company. And I promise we've got the $97 Gold, and I love that. And I think everybody should go after that. I try to make it super friendly and super budget, and I will never change the price of that $97 Gold Class Series package. And I won't discount it. So I won't take away like, like specials, like this was Memorial Day recently, and they're like, what's your Memorial Day discount? Well, most people don't even know not to ask now, because gold is valuable every single day, whether it's a vacation or not. And so we do not offer specials. We offer one and only discount for veterans. So if you are a veteran, and or any, not just veterans, but anyone military, like, because that's a respect out of David. He's a disabled Army vet, infantry, and he was like, can you please have that discount? And so, aren't you guys glad he failed so we can get the military their discount? But other than that, I don't, because the value that you get in gold is already immensely insane in terms of what you're getting. And you're getting my class series package. For a time, we added on the classes, but now we're getting such a huge request for classes. We may need to make a change with offering the classes as a bonus. But we're also talking about maybe some open classroom hours where you guys can just pop in, ask some questions, get some clarity, go over some examples, chit chat with other people, connect with other people. A live interactive component is important for a lot of people. So we offer that in our classes. And again, this is all for $97. Like, it's so crazy how inexpensive this is for people being able to study and pass. And if your manager or your employer is not investing in this for you, find an employer who does. Because an employer who is willing to invest in the insurance exam queen, if your employer, that's the one other discount I actually offer, is I don't publicly talk about it, but an agency discount. So if your manager, if your boss doesn't have, they should, that's the one way to get a discount with me, is if the person who recruited you, who is hiring you, reaches out to me. So if they reach out to me, they can get a special agency discount. And we will talk about the best way for them to help their people pass the exam. Military discount, that's it. Otherwise, I don't discount gold, $97 gold. That's how much it is. It's already so value packed. It's crazy. It's valued at over $5,000 for what we have available in there. And I'm keeping it under 100 because I want everybody to be able to pass the exam. And I want to help all the people who are supporting this company in existence. So questions. I think this was one of the first times I didn't answer all the questions, but let me see if I can go through these real quick. All right. Many of you are asking about the state and the exam that you're taking. So if you go to insuranceexamqueen.com, which is my website, and there's a tab called property and casualty, and there's a tab on life and health. You can click that, click recommendations, and then scroll down to your state and click on your state. And then it will show you what's important for your state and how I can best support you. What can I use my health license for? One of the most common things for health license is selling Medicare, but you can also do Affordable Care Act, which is basically selling in the healthcare marketplace. So people traditionally get health insurance through their job. This is all testable. People traditionally get health insurance through their job using group insurance, and group insurance is the easiest to get because you don't have to undergo any medical questions. But if you don't get insurance through your job, the other way of getting insurance is through the health marketplace, which essentially is selling Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. You can work with an agent who will find you the best plan in the best price range that you can afford. They will sign you up. They get paid by the government. And if you're selling it, you get paid by the government. So you get to help a person basically on their end for free because they're going to pay the same premium no matter what. They're not paying this is just like a real estate agent. You're not paying any extra money than what the commission is. Like, that's what you get to make, and they're going to help you regardless of what the commission is. Like, you're going to take care of them. The government is going to be the one to take care of it. They don't ever have to pay for it. It's not coming out of their own pocket, other than via taxes, But why not use it to the best of our ability? Okay. Do you have something on workers' comp? We do have a video for workers' comp inside the Gold Class Series package. Yes. Michigan P exam. Again, if you're looking for a specific state, specific exam, go to my website, go into recommendations. Hello all, I'm new here. I have to start so many questions. I keep messing up. Representation versus warranty. Representation versus warranty. I just taught about this in a video. I had a contract law class. So a couple of YouTube videos, look for contract law. And I spent a good amount of time going over representation and going over warranty. Remember, questions about representation are statements that the insured made. You're going to want to choose the answer representation. And if you have any example test questions where you say, I'm struggling with warranty and representation, give me some example questions of where you're struggling, how you're struggling with it. And that way I can take a look, and like if you tell me, well, I chose warranty because the test question says this, then I can help break down for you like where that happens. So if you can share that on share a picture of questions that you're struggling with on the Facebook group, but the best way would be in class. In fact, we just had a Zoom where people were sharing screenshots of questions they had from practice exams that they were struggling with, and we were able to talk about and break them down right there, and also identify that there's some wrong ones. We have to be careful when we're studying this exam, because there can be time where there's questions that are wrong with wrong answers and we don't know, and we think we're studying the right thing and we're studying the totally wrong thing. So we got to be careful with stuff like that. Is it raining? No, I don't know. Okay. Yes, these are all perfect questions for a live in-person class. So it would be better for me to I want to have this live. I want you guys to be able to talk to me as I talk to you. So we can talk about this. What's the difference between PPO and HMO? An HMO is a health maintenance organization, and PPO is preferred provider organization. So one, knowing the names of them. But these are two of the most majorly talked about medical plans. So when you're selling, so this kind of goes back to the idea of what can I do with my health insurance license? You can sell people HMOs and PPOs. You can sell them government-based HMOs and PPOs, either in the medical realm or the Affordable Care Act realm. So you can explain this information. A PPO is where you can go to any doctor, any place, anytime, doesn't matter who knows about them or whatever. You pick and choose your doctor, doesn't matter. You will be helped with paying that bill. They may not cover 100% of the bill, but they will cover some of the bill for you to go to any doctor. HMO says they will cover the entire bill, but you're only allowed to go to certain doctors. You cannot go to other, we'll pay for everything. All you have to pay is your premium, and we will pay for every doctor, every hospital. You will not expect another bill with an HMO. It's very rare to have another bill. A PPO, you're likely to be billed, and you're likely to have to pay 20 to 80%, 20 to 60, 50% of your medical bill. And so an HMO says you have to go to certain doctors. You're only allowed to go to certain doctors. There are some doctors if they're in the HMO, you can go to them. But if there are doctors that are not part of the HMO, they will not cover a damn thing. They will not pay for anything. A PPO allows you the freedom to go to another doctor that is not in network, but they will only pay a portion of the bill. In an HMO, they will pay the entire bill, but you're only allowed to see their doctors. So you can't be picky or choosy in an HMO. But it's the cheapest because you pay one monthly premium. That's all you really pay. You pay a little copay. I'm sorry. When I say you never paid again, you do pay again, but you pay a little copay. Like you pay a set amount for a certain thing, but you barely have to pay money after the premium, or you're less likely, or not a lot of money after you pay the HMO premium. On the test, the way that the HMO shows up is that they will ask a question like, what is the purpose of an HMO? Everything related to why they do an HMO, like why is an HMO important? Why do they offer HMOs? What does HMOs care about? It's all about preventative care. So an HMO, one of the reasons it's so cheap is because they require that all the doctors make sure you stay healthy, that you're doing things that help prevent you from getting sick. So an HMO is all about preventative care. Like for women, you have these annual, doctor's appointment, a woman's wellness exam, where they check your cells in your uterus to make sure that everything is good. And like you don't have a problem, but you're going in to check to see if there's a problem. Like preventative care, you're checking in on things before something pops up. Just like dental, you do that with dental. Medical hardly is like, while they do like a 1-year wellness check, they're not like every week, like what's going on with her body, what's happening with their body. They only check it, once a year on a medical plan. Dental say, let's check it every 6 weeks. We want to catch something sooner rather than later. We want to know if something is there. With medical, it's kind of like, come in if you feel something, but we probably don't need to see you for a year, maybe 2 years, as long as nothing pops up. Like I know they've changed some of the rules with when like with a gynecology test, when do they check all the cells and all that stuff. Like that's one of the things that's automatically covered on your HMO is a woman's wellness checkup that you'll never have to pay. You don't even pay a copay for that. So like some on your HMO, you'll have to pay $500 when you go to the emergency room. That's a copay. Like you pay a set amount every single time you go. You know exactly what it is. That's a test question deductible. A deductible is a set amount of money. I know exactly what it is. If I go through this procedure, I'm going to pay that exact amount of money. It doesn't fluctuate. There are different deductibles. Like you may have an emergency room deductible, and you may have like a, what are they called when it not chronic, what is it called when it's urgent care, right? They may have an urgent care deductible versus an emergency room deductible. They may have a deductible for like surgeries or different types of surgeries, but it's still a set amount. You know exactly what it is. All they do is say, okay, this surgery or this procedure, this type of doctor, boom, it's this amount of money. And you can read the paperwork that'll tell you, if you ever go to a doctor for this amount of thing and this needs to happen, it'll be this amount of money. Like you know what it is you're going to expect to pay. With a PPO, it's percentage based. And so like if you go to a doctor that charges $1 million, you're on the hook for, $20 million of that. And there might even be another limit. Like there are limits within limits of a PPO. So they do cover a percentage, but there are still limitations. Like there might be an annual limitation to your insurance policy. So major medical plans. Oh, live ended, will end in 5 minutes. Okay. I think I turned my live back on. On TikTok. I'm not very good on TikTok. I'm on the YouTubes. Check me out on the YouTubes. I'm definitely over there. Yeah. So that's the difference between an HMO and a PPO. So we talked about that. Okay. So I'm going to stick to, I want to offer these for an hour. I have a baby. I have people helping me. And so I want to stick to my time. So, this has felt good and amazing. I know there are a lot of questions. Bring these questions to our live classes. If you have a $97 gold, you can attend our live classes. I'm going to work on getting some classes on the schedule. And Angela is an amazing place to talk with people and chat with people, like to get the studying going on. So she has those classes, and we're working on some other ways of working with her. And feel free, again, some of these questions could definitely be answered in the insurance group. So use that as a place of study, as a place of support, and people to have help. I love to go live on there every once in a while too. Like sometimes people will post questions in the Facebook group, and then I'll just go live and talk about that topic. And that way it's not in this one big chunk, a video. Is there a video on memorization techniques for property and casualty? Angela actually has a class on memorization techniques. And that is something that she offers. And so definitely check that out. Okay. I'm going to let you all go. I got to go eat some dinner. It's been an amazing day. I am sending you guys all the loves, all the vibes to pass the exam. If you're on TikTok, please join me on YouTube because I know that much better. But I will try to keep going live on both, although it's probably not the best image down here. And it probably looks weird on YouTube too when I put my head down. I know there's a way to set this up. I know there's a way to do this much better, and I will get there, I promise. But what I'm really, really, really good at is getting you to pass the exam. So if you trusted me for that, definitely go to insuranceexamqueen.com, get the gold class series package. It's me teaching a video of all the most common, all the most tested topics so that you can easily understand them and get a pass on your exam, because I also want you to pass this exam, get into this career, do the things you want to do. And I love you all so much. So have an amazing day. I love you all.